We'll call the July meeting of the Urban Forestry Committee to order. And we'll start by Paul.
And
Jim Scott. Carol Hannah. Carrie Day.
Kenneth Locke.
Ready for it.
Okay. We have a quorum and a non-voting member, so we're good to go here. We have, the last meeting we had was in May, and so we have some minutes that May meeting. If everyone's had a chance at those. The only thing I see is roll call. My name is not spelled correct.
Oh, okay.
Minor detail. And Julie's coming in right now. Good. Make a motion to approve those minutes. Still reaching. We have motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So we have that taken care of, so we can move on to the important stuff. We've got old business. So I will turn that over to Denise then.
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you for all, for coming here. And you can't hear this?
I can
Get back.
hear you now. I can hear that.
I don't know how. Okay, just turn them all off. Not quite for sure where that feedback is coming from. But anyway. I can't talk. I don't know.
I Zoom frequently. If you mute the microphone on the computer on the Teams, that might get rid of the echo.
Oh. Let's see here. Teams. To unshare. Okay, is it? Well. Just roll with it, I guess. I apologize. You all did. Do you hear it now? Yeah? Wow, it's even worse. It almost seems like it's coming from. Yeah. Sandra, can you hear us now? No, Sandra, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, so the muted you. Oh, I apologize.
No, it's fine. I'm glad to be here.
If we can maximize her, right?
And, yes.
Can you, excellent, okay,
This icon right here. And then dial that down.
okay,
Does that work?
okay.
No, that's not the.
What about now? No. Can you hear me now, Sandra, still?
Let me see if, maybe this is on my end. I had to have let me see if reducing my speaker helps at all. Is that better?
Yeah, so I think it's every time I jump. It's, I'll just listen and enjoy, but, Aaron, sorry about that.
You're good. No, it's fully out. I'm here. You're good. Okay, so, the AV Resource Group is extremely happy and proud to be here. Thank you for, reviewing our proposal. If you had a chance to review it, I'm not sure what that review process was. But, we've helped you with your first tree inventory, your tree inventory after your tornado. We've done a couple of strategies for you in regards to planning and what the inventory looks like and how to work through the inventory maintenance. Denise and I, we work really, really close together to figure out what of that plan works and what of that plan doesn't. And so I'm really excited to, give you a more custom plan and make sure it's what you guys, review and want to achieve with your goals. So, as you can see, I've got a team with me. It's time that I share my torch a little bit here. So I'm Erin Flint. I'm a senior associate consultant with the Research Group. I know many of you know me. I know we've had lunch together and things of that nature, but for those that might be listening in or don't, I'm a team lead for Indiana. So my position is to help communities either maintain where they are or get them to that next level of where they want to be. Okay. And so I've got Sandra, she'll introduce herself. And then we've got Kelly and we've got James. Both of them will introduce themselves. My role on this is to help with the Indiana, understanding approach of urban forestry. I know and understand your guys' program well. I'm always super excited, by the way, to come and listen to your tree board meeting and hear all the fun, exciting things. I remember talking with Carrie at our lunch last time and she was like, I'm gonna get a K through 12 campus. And you're like, hey, so, it's pretty exciting to hear, where every time that you guys have so many projects, and so much engagement in the community is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna have the team introduce themselves, and their role, and then Kelly's gonna take us through. There's 3 handouts that you have. One's an agenda, or not agenda, sorry, an outline of the plan, one's a timeline, and then, I'm not sure how we shared the spreadsheet, but there will be a request of documents or data related to your program that's gonna help feed information into the plan. Okay, so Kelly's gonna talk about those. So Sandra, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Sandra Albro. I'm a senior associate consultant based in Cleveland, Ohio with Davie Resource Group. And I work on our national planning team to develop custom urban forest strategic plans, management plans, and other studies and technical reports for municipalities all across the US. Our team is also very experienced with community engagement to help understand what the local priorities and concerns are about trees to make sure that our proposed solutions really address those. And so I'll be working with the local Indiana office as part of the planning team on this project. And I'm really looking forward to working with the local team and the town of Pendleton to understand where your forestry program is at currently and where it should go next. Thank you.
I'm James Rock with Aaron Been for 13 years now. I actually did, I know the second inventory with you all after the, I don't know if I did the first or before that. But my role, I'm an associate consultant. My role is going to be more supportive, just kind of helping Sandra and Kelly kind of develop the plan, making sure we're keeping track of schedule the timeline and getting those as needed.
And he'll also be part of the tree planting project.
Last,
Oh, news to him.
And I'm Kelly Schofield, a environmental scientist with Navy Resource Group for 2 years. And I've been working on a lot of urban forestry reports after inventories and also assisting under Erin's and Sandra's guidance to write management plans. And I can also now go over the notes you were given.
You mean to
Tomorrow.
fill that?
Oh, yeah, that works too. I have it on my phone, it's just very small. I couldn't get the printer to work at the office.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yes, that one.
There we go. Sorry.
Right. So top there we have our introductions, our titles, already covered that. Scope of work. So these are kind of high level view of what we're gonna be covering in the plan. So looking at your existing resources based off of the inventory data that you already have, your past inventories. And it sounds like you guys are updating that information, which is great. So looking at where your tree population is today versus those prior inventories. And then moving on to the inventory maintenance and data, what do we need to do moving forward to maintain the urban forest, and how do we accurately track that information so that it is up to date and useful? And then looking at setting maintenance goals and planting strategy based off of the data that we have. So helping you guys determine how to set clear goals and guidelines on how to reach those goals. And then next we'll be covering the staffing and internships and partnerships, which it sounds like you've got some great partnerships outside of the city staff. But where are there other partners that you can pull in to help share the cost and also maintain the urban forest? And then budget framework, how can we make the dollars that we have do what we need them to do, and where are there other opportunities to bring in money for projects? And then we'll also be updating your approved tree list based off of the data from your inventories and your goals. And we'll also finally be looking at your unified development ordinance, just to make sure that this document is in line with your city policies. To go down a little bit further, we've got our timeline here. So we're meeting with you today. We'll have our official kickoff early August with city staff. And then from now up until October, we ask that you start submitting some of that data into the spreadsheets and then any other documents that I request from Denise. We would like to have the last of that in by October 16th, but in the meantime, I will start authoring. So anything that can come in earlier is super helpful to help me get ahead of our timeline. And then we'll get that first draft delivered to you for review by February, mid-February, well, I guess late February. And we'll give you about a month to, or is it a couple weeks to review that, make any comments and suggestions, or ask for clarification on anything. And then we'll incorporate that feedback and do our final formatting and give you your finished plan by April. I think below this, there's just some more detail on the proposed outline. So breaks down each of those folded headlines from above, by each of those sections that were in the scope of work. Covered.
And then also in your teams is the Excel spreadsheet of the deliverables of what staff will get to her. And I think I've got it up here as well.
That's
I think. And, yeah, the very last one, Excel spreadsheet. And then there are some tabs at the bottom here, yeah. Mr. Staff, team, tree activities, budget. Request.
Have you found many communities that are starting to look at the climate change, the heat, the more sustainable, heat sustaining trees?
Yeah. The city of Indianapolis with Candy's partnership and American Forest actually has a tool that they've developed that suggests what trees will withstand the changes in the future. So there is a tool available that could extend its content. But yeah.
I know Minnesota, Wisconsin, they're looking at, what northern trees might, or southern trees might thrive and survive in the north, so.
Yeah, and Sandra might have an example. I'm sure that with her planning team, they've gone through that strategy with multiple communities outside of Indiana too. Sure.
Yeah, excuse me, yes, it's becoming a very common analysis that we do. And for most of it, we rely on the US Climate Atlas, Tree Atlas, which provides location-specific lists of species that are expected to phase out or migrate in based on 2 different climate scenarios. So we would probably refer to that for Pendleton in addition to the Minneapolis resource that Erin mentioned.
Is that we might want to consider some of that information as we do our new approved tree list.
Yeah.
Because I know, there are species that are dying out because they can't stand the higher temperature, so that's.
And wonder if then there's trees that maybe otherwise wouldn't have survived, that then now would survive better, so, yeah.
Kelly, what is the environmental scientist? What's the definition for environmental scientist?
Like it's a really broad field. In my case, I have a master's in environmental sustainability from IU, and since coming to Davie, I primarily worked doing environmental restoration and wetland sciences, and then also the other half of my time is like doing urban forestry under Aaron.
Is there any direction, like for example, currently the biodiversity of the food production that max out?
Yeah.
And we cannot produce any more food.
Yeah.
So any direction for a city to plant tree that would produce edible product. Instead of planting tree that's for decorative and basically wasting the landscape. So any direction in producing the type of tree that would increase the biodiversity for the future food production, because we are at the max at the current time.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can be explored in these kind of urban forestry plans, like including the urban gardening or the community gardening aspect. And also it really just depends on what the client is looking for. You know, if that is a goal that you want to set, that's something that we can definitely talk about in the plan.
Like in the Door County up in Michigan. The whole county planted with church.
Yeah.
So to producing in every neighborhood. I mean, the whole. So I think we should look into planting tree that will produce future food production, because we are at the max right now.
Yeah.
And the produce, for example, the bass. There's no more live fish you can feed the bass. So produces developing the best that we on being to increase the biodiversity. So maybe we should look into planting tree that will produce food in some area.
It's an interesting concept. If that ends up being a goal, we can certainly explore.
I mean, I'm just asking a question right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, theoretically, and I think that's something that a lot of communities are interested in, but I would have to personally do more research on how feasible that is. I think that some of the limitations would be are people accessing or actually harvesting what's available? Or is it going to waste? You might have to have a system in place that encourages or like has somebody who's responsible for harvesting that food and making sure it's getting used versus just like, take what you want. I think if there's too much fruit trees in a city, you could run into pest problems. That's maybe the downside. But if it's utilized properly, it could be valuable for the community.
So like in this area, you know, is looking for people that the pecan tree that grow in this area.
Mhm.
They try to collect the information with pecan tree.
Yeah, kind of going back to what we just discussed about moving more southern species up here, there are southern species that produce edible foods for humans that we want to think about moving in for the future. That could be some things that we could become added to your fruit planter list. There's things that aren't here now.
What that could be future discussion.
And there's that interesting too, that maybe it could be something we consider for our common space area, there, residential subdivisions, maybe not in a street right of way tree, but yet in spaces that have a lot more green, open area, and yet, we did do the recent amended UDO to add in those amenities and having whether a playground or a pergola or something a little bit more than just the trail requirement. So that might be something that we can add in on our landscape piece. That's a good thought.
Well, there's more and more people growing organic farming, like in Europe. I mean, they have actually a group of people actively go to maintain all the fruit trees. They actually go in and collect them. For example, if I have a pecan tree in my yard, they will come and collect them. Properly and maintain the trees so that they can increase local grown, local consumption. Yeah, everything. But, I mean, of course, they have organization. Maybe Madison County Foundation can fund an organization that will help maintain the trees and collect the food. That's my project.
Okay, you actually just reminded me, I used to work at a botanic garden that had a sensory garden as one of like their exhibits. And they had things you could touch and smell and also produce that they grew there. And they said, to visitors, feel free to pick produce and take it with you. And a lot of it wasn't getting big. And so I had brought in someone from a local food bank and said, please come take all this food. And so that's where having a lot of partnerships, which is a part of the plan that we're going to be looking into, can help solve those problems. Because the garden that have the ability or the capacity to distribute that, but we have this resource that someone else could use and they could have the manpower to come and take it.
So for those of you that don't know, we have sustained a community garden here. It's on park property, but it's a partnership in conjunction with our library. And if you commit to a plot, half of that plot is yours to do with and grow what you want. The other half is grown and the harvest goes to the food pantry, the library. So, yeah, and we've been doing that since 2009.
Well, currently, I'm transplanting every autumn season, farm. Oh, I understand.
And we actually planted our first apple orchard in Maryville.
Nice.
So, yeah, and that, but it was on city, it was a city park, it was right by the playground in there. But they have a nice two big river birches, and they're gonna put benches in front of it, and so, yeah, it's kind of, it's a take as you go, and then they're gonna, they're big. Goshen, we planted, pawpaw and, pecan, and there's, there is persimmon, yep, there's persimmon on it, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. So, yeah, serviceberries, yep, and it's in this kind of like triangular, right outside of a neighborhood, but it's a city property, and, it's planted in an escape sort of way, so it's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't look like an orchard, and it's not really, and there's no like park benches or activities there, but it's the neighboring homes and residents know that these trees are there. This just happened last year, so we'll see how it goes in the future, but pretty.
Yeah. And where was that again? You said it was located in
Goshen was the last.
Goshen.
Mhm.
So as far as the timeline, so we're looking at getting the draft in February, and then we would have about a month, a few weeks then.
Yep.
That'll probably fall in line with our meeting. So we always meet the third Thursday.
Yeah.
So that worked out
Trying to line that up
really,
for you.
yeah, thank you. And so this might be perfectly, yeah, right dates there. So that's great. And I don't know if we want to do this before or to get any type of feedback or from the community or doing it after, but I think it would be great to come up with a way that we can share the community and yeah, kind of do the community engagement piece of that. So come up with
That's not
something like
whatever
that.
information you guys find,
Yeah. Yeah, we will work with staff. We'll get ready for all the materials, getting that, and then we'll do a kickoff meeting with you then sometime in August and get that scheduled. If Carol or one of you want to sit in on that and whatnot,
Can you let us know? when it
Yeah,
is?
we'll do that.
Any of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. Great. And we could always even do it, virtual, and if you want to join in virtual, or we'll have it here, set up in the conference room with the TV on for anyone who wants to connect in virtual. Yeah, that'd be great. Right. I think we'll be seeing and working with your team quite a bit this fall, so we're really excited. I finally got some good, fun projects to work with you all. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone have any questions or anything for the group?
Krista did say yes, she will have her shirt. For the tree sitter.
Good. The pamphlets and stuff. Great.
And just another side note, one day, a couple weeks ago, I'm in the front of the park and there's all these limbs, and I thought, when there's a limb down, I will stop and pick it up, but when we're doing trimming to make sure that the riding robbers can go around, they pick them up as they go, but we had all these limbs. So, found that, and also I noticed they were being cut and stuff, so they weren't being pruned well, properly. So I found out that there was a concerned person in the community that was helping us trim. So I went back and cleaned up and took them as close as I could, as you should.
Yeah. Very kind of
That was a new
them.
That was a new one. I haven't come across that.
Be included in our training.
Yes, find out who that is.
Gosh, wow.
Yeah.
He actually, called Donnie, so Donnie doesn't know who it was. I intentionally didn't ask him. Don't wanna know.
Oh, that's great. They're trying to do a good thing, obviously. Of course.
One of the perils of public land. You just never. At least it was not me.
I found it.
Do we have any public comments? Yeah.
Hey, Larry, are you gonna plant another fruit tree? Are you gonna plant 100 fruit trees?
No, what?
100 fruit trees. He wants to know if you're gonna plant 100 fruit trees for him.
I planted 3 little cedar trees the other day on a whim.
If there's nothing else, is that it for everyone?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sandra, it's nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Exciting year.